We use the testing to understand, often debated, what the best test is. I suppose just as a general overview of what we've been doing, we have got the players together to do some physical work. Whenever we get a break in the competition schedule, it's a good opportunity to do some physical work. One of the unique things for Bangladesh is that we play pretty much 12 months of the year. A lot of the more Western sides generally have an off season. We don't get that luxury here. So when we get these small windows, we try and do some physical work and some physical testing. We use the testing to understand what areas we need to emphasise in each player's individual training. So there's not necessarily passing or failing the fitness tests. It's about understanding the individual players' strengths and weaknesses when it comes to their physical fitness. And then from that allows me to help individualise their programs. As you would have seen, we did some testing here the other day. We did some testing at the National Stadium. We did some sprint testing and a time trial. We had, I think, 12 personal bests in the time trial, so lots of players are making improvements in that area. We had an outstanding performance with Nahid as well, running a 5-minute 31 1600 metre time trial. But as a group, we're collectively just trying to improve and get better in that area. We also did some strength testing here as well, and once we had a look at all of our strength testing results across all of the tests that we do, we had 56 personal bests. So the playing group are improving a lot. I saw a little bit of commentary regarding the testing being new. That's not true. We've done this testing for the last 18 months since I joined in April of 2024. So we've got some continuous data across the time trial, the strength testing, the sprint testing to monitor the players' progress. And I'm really pleased with the improvement that the group is making, particularly the young group of players who are coming through, who are playing a lot of T20 and one-day cricket for us at the moment. They're really focused on improving not just their cricket, but becoming better athletes as well. If there's any specific questions, I'd be happy to answer a few.
Yes, Nathan, as you said, there was a break after the last series. When there is a break, there's always a chance to degrade in the fitness. So how do you find them when they join the camp, and over the few days, what's the fitness level now?
Generally, when there's a break in the schedule, the players are very good at taking ownership of doing a lot of physical work. So I'd say that they've actually been doing more physical work after that last series finished than less. It's normally when we're playing every second day that it's quite hard to do the physical stuff. So as you would have seen in Sri Lanka, we were playing, that's a 6-week series where we're playing probably 70% of the days are match days. So it's an opportunity like we've had over the last 3 or 4 weeks where the players are back at their home base. They're all going to the gym and doing their running sessions and working really hard. And I can't fault their effort. They're, as you would have seen today, outstanding effort, and their attitude's fantastic towards the physical work.
Nathan, you have said this also, that after you came here in Bangladesh, you give them a different test. We have heard about the beep test and other things. Is there any difference between that pop test and you give them this?
Yeah, it's often debated what the best test is. The reason I wanted to use a time trial was that it's very simple for us to deliver that test. You don't need any equipment to run 4 laps of an athletics track. You can measure it on any grass cricket ground as well. So it makes it more accessible for our domestic players to do the same test as the national team. And it's also, there's less debate in terms of your results. When you do the yo-yo and the beep tests, sometimes players, they might only just miss, but it's hard to make a call to pull them out and tell them that they've finished. The great thing about the time trial is that the clock doesn't lie. My experience is the players who win the yo-yo test and win the beep test, they also win the time trial. And the guys who are poor in those tests are also poor in the time trial. So you still get the same understanding of which players are fit and which players need to do more work, regardless of which test you use. But the main thing for me was having an assessment that's easy to deliver, and we're going to be really reliable with our results, whether it's me running the test or one of our domestic divisions with NCL. We're not going to have different results if we run the test that way.
Nathan, one day remain of the fitness test. So do you think the boys will be ready after that? For especially for the Asia Cup, where the condition will be demanding and grueling. So do you feel that they'll be ready after this?
Absolutely, yeah. No, our boys worked extremely hard. I think evidence today. If you saw some of the conditioning that we did, there was some really challenging drills. If you didn't think they were challenging, I'd welcome you to come and do them with us one day. You'll find out. Their attitude and their effort's outstanding. They push themselves extremely hard. The biggest challenge for us is finding opportunities to do big chunks of physical work, which we don't have the benefit of, like an England or an Australia, where they have a big sort of 15-week pre-season for their players, regardless of if they're domestic or international. So we only get little small windows, so we're constantly fighting that battle of trying to get physical work in wherever we get those opportunities. Yeah.
But how do you define fitness for different people? I mean, cricket fitness is a lot different from the other sport. Say someone like Virat Kohli is different from Rohit Sharma, but they're very good at their,
I would disagree with that sentiment. I think being a good athlete is the same regardless of what sport you play. Being fast, being aerobically fit, being strong and powerful, those general aspects of athleticism, they carry over to any sport. You've only got to look at the top tier cricket nations, and generally you're looking at big, strong, powerful, fit athletes, and they could probably be good footballers or good rugby players, or they could try their hand at any sport and be quite competent. So athleticism is quite general in nature, and we use physical training to build that athleticism. And when you've got more athletic cricket players, it gives them more freedom to play the game the way they want to. So if you're a batsman with more power, you've got more options. You can hit the ball over the top. If you're fast between the wickets, you can push the running between the wickets. As you know, if you're athletic in diving and rolling and tumbling, you can make plays in the field. And obviously being aerobically fit is really important for our players to maintain their concentration when they're batting for long periods of time, and for our fast bowlers to bowl long spells consistently. So athleticism is general. I would say it's not specific to cricket. Yeah. Go ahead.
Usually cricketers love to do batting bowling practice, but when there is a fitness training, how do you inspire them to more run or to do give more time in gym?
Oh, I don't need to inspire them. They're very motivated. They are all extremely hard working, and they want to be the best that they can be. I don't get any complaints from our players about the physical work that we do. They really are bought in and trying to get better, and their energy and enthusiasm for it's fantastic.
At the last few days session, to find out the lackings of our players. So what do you think, which area we need to improve?
Oh, I wouldn't say there's lacking in any area. Some of our players, for example, some players might not get the best time trial, but what you guys might not see is that they've actually got personal bests in the gym with their strength work, and that might be something that we've been focusing on with that individual player. So it's all about understanding where they're going well and where their work-ons are, and the players, they see their results, they know what they need to work on, and their attitude and effort towards getting better in every area is fantastic.
And Nathan, it's not about the national team. The domestic season is coming, and there is a fitness camp in a few days. How do you plan that season? The player is in off season, and they are not in the national team, and there is not so much facilities in the other areas of the country. How do you plan that session? That's
a fantastic question. I suppose the big challenge for us at the moment in Bangladesh when it comes to improving our athleticism, at the moment there's probably, I think we've got 3 highly qualified strength and conditioning coaches employed by the Bangladesh Cricket Board. If we compare that to domestic cricket in England or Australia, they've got 20 or 30 of those trainers. We've got lots of local trainers who are really passionate and working very hard. And it's about, one of my big roles is trying to help improve those guys by providing opportunities for them to build their skills. But ultimately it falls back on our system and our domestic trainers who do a fantastic job. But it's about constant improvement, not just for the players but the system as a whole, and I think we're improving quite a lot in building our system to support our domestic players to make sure they're training hard year round and building their physical fitness as well.
Thank you.
All right, thanks guys, I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.